Blessed be the fruit. No. Blessed be the person that can make a perfect Handmaid's bonnet, because it ain't me. This will be my third attempt at making wings. I'm hoping that this third time will be the charm and I will nail it, but there's probably still a good possibility that I will need to make another one to get it just right. The first try is right here, and I'll put it on. You know, it's okay. It holds its shape, but by no means would I call it good. And the reason is that when I had cut out all the pieces, and I cut the buckram piece to be the same size as the outside cotton pieces. And then when I sewed it together and I turned it right side out, the buckram pieces wouldn't lay down. Like even when I iron it and stuff, and I was really nervous to get it wet because every time I got the buckram wet, it would stretch out of shape really bad. But yeah, so the buckram would stick out, but the big problem is that it buckled on the inside. I don't know how well you can see how like misshapen it is. Like it's so bumpy and it's just not good. I messed up the back piece. It was way too long, and then I just like folded it up, and I don't know. So now it like sticks out in the back all funny. But this was the first attempt. Oh, and the wire, I just used wire that I had in my stash and it was too big. Yeah. I don't know. It's okay. Like I'm sure that it would be fine to wear this one, but I'm not happy with it. I don't like it. So that was my first try. And here is my second try. You can see I got the back part a little bit better. It lays smooth. I think that I could make the back piece a little bit bigger. I've already cut out the back piece for the third try and it's the same size. But if I do make a fourth bonnet, I am going to make this back part bigger. It'll give my hair a little bit more room. You are supposed to wear a bonnet, like an under bonnet underneath it too, which I probably should have made that first, but you know, I just couldn't resist attempting to make a bonnet. Second try, I'm happy with. I used smaller wire. I cut the buckram down so the inside piece is smaller than the outside piece, and it worked a lot better. It's still buckled a little bit, but not nearly as bad. But it's much better than the first try, but it's still not great. I would love to be able to get this fabric super tight and not have any extra fabric. Another issue I had was with the wire. The wire is probably like right here, so there's extra fabric along here. And I'm not super happy with that. I feel like it could be better, which is why I'm gonna try again. I am happy with the dimensions. Oh, another thing is it doesn't hold its shape back here. So I'm thinking maybe I need to put some wire back in this area so it keeps its shape. I don't know. I wish that there was a tutorial out there that would break it down to exactly how you're supposed to make these to be show accurate. But there's not, so I'm just kind of guessing, and I'm going to take you along on my journey. I went up to Walmart and I picked up this Craft Bond spray adhesive. It's in the craft section, and I'm going to try to glue the buckram to the cotton piece. Here. I'm nervous. I don't know why I'm so nervous. Okay. I've never used this stuff before. Oh my god, it stinks! Oh my god. Wear a mask when you do this. Oh my god, it stinks so bad. Okay. Well, this seems to be alright. Oh my god. That looks pretty good. Okay. But the smell is gonna kill me. So I'm gonna let this dry and I'm gonna step away from it for a while. All right. It has been 48 hours since I glued the buckram onto the cotton. I did iron it. And once the buckram was glued onto this cotton fabric, I was able to wet it down and get the wrinkles out, and it didn't get all wrinkly or misshapen because it was glued to the cotton. So that worked out really well, and that's what I was hoping for. The next thing I have to do is iron on the interfacing here to the second cotton piece. I'm going to go ahead and just do all of that off of camera. Yeah, so I'm going to iron this on. There goes my iron. And then I'm going to sew these two pieces together. So when I sew them together, I'm going to follow right along the buckram line. I don't want to catch the buckram in the seam, but I want to get it as close to the buckram as I can. And I'm going to just follow that line all the way around when I sew these two pieces together. And I will check back in with you guys once I get those two things done. So I have the two pieces sewn together. I don't know if you're able to see that on this side, but you can see on this side. I just used a straight stitch and stitched all the way around. I did serge these ends here too, just because it was getting a little stringy. So now that that is done, I get to move on to the wire. Ideally, you'd probably want to use millinery wire. I can't afford millinery wire. I looked on Amazon and it was like 40 bucks for one roll, or you could get like 1 yard for a pretty reasonable price, but I wasn't sure how many hats I was going to have to make to get it right, so I didn't want to spend a bunch of money on wire. So I was able to pick this up at Walmart for around $2, and it's 18 gauge galvanized steel wire, 110 feet. So I'm going to take this wire and I'm going to sew it. I'm going to sew it in between the seams here. I'm going to stick it in here and hand sew it. I'm hoping that if I sew it in between the seam, the white fabric will cover up the steel, so it's not going to be quite as obvious that there's wire in there. And I have to get it as close to the seam as possible because I don't want any weird bubbles or gapes or anything like that. All right. And also, I'm sorry, but I'm going to do that off camera as well. I've got a few errands to run with the kids, and while I'm waiting for them to get out of their stuff, I can just hand sew this wire into place. So I will go ahead and sign off for now and check in with you guys tomorrow on the progress on sewing that on. Then I did the stupidest thing ever. My buckram was coming up, so I was like, oh, well, I'll just get that stinky spray glue out again and spray it down. And I didn't hold it back far enough, so it just globbed everywhere, and then I got it on my hands, and it's messy. And if you peek inside here, it stained my white fabric. So I went to all that work to finally, hopefully, get it perfect, and then I stained it. And sorry about the background noise. My daughter's up, and she's watching Toy Story, and yeah. Moment of truth. Let's turn this inside out and see if the fabric is tight enough. I'm so nervous. Okay. This is bad. This part is okay. Oh, I should have clipped the corners. What a mess. Now my wire like totally bent. So this is so hard. This hat is hard. Okay. Oh my gosh! It's ridiculous. Why is this so hard? Okay, I'm gonna iron it. See what good that does. I'm feeling a little less discouraged about it. It is stained, and then my iron, I think, got a little rust or something on it. Should have cleaned my iron before touching it. Some parts of the seam aren't quite puffed, like, even. Like here, see there's this little weird part that doesn't want to come out. Not sure what's up with that, but I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say that it is too much better than my second try. In fact, it might be a little worse. I don't know. No, it's better. A little bit better. Should I continue to finish it, or should I make another one? I'm not, at this point, I'm not exactly sure what changes I would make besides just make sure not to stain the fabric. Definitely clip the curves. I don't know. It is what it is. I went ahead and finished this bonnet because I will definitely have to make another one to get it right. But I feel really good about the things that I learned from this third time. So on my next try, I made some changes. I made some changes to the curve of the bonnet. I made it a little bit more subtle. And earlier I said I was going to use the shorter version, but I went ahead and made, not shorter, but wider. I added some more fabric to the back compared to this one so that there's a little bit more space for hair and the underbonnet that has to go under it. But anyways, I'm definitely feeling better. I'm excited to try number 4. Hopefully number 4 will be my last try, and I will make a video of that. It will have less talking and more sewing, and I will just make the bonnet and hope that it turns out the way that that I think it can. Before I go, I do want to give you the measurements that I used for this, and I'll go ahead and move the camera over on top of it so that you can see when I'm doing that. Other than that, if you've watched this video this far, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit like. It always feels awkward saying that, but it is what it is. It's the name of the game. And the next video that I post will be making the 4th bonnet. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. If you have any tips, put them in the comments, because I kind of feel a little lost on how to get that fabric tight. When I do make the 4th one, I think that I'm going to put the wire, like do one strip of wire, so the wire would go across the bonnet this way, and then it would bend and go up here. On this one, it does have wire, and it fixes that problem I was having with this one where the back of it would bend. So this one doesn't do that, and I'm happy with that. But I think maybe I could get the fabric to be tighter if it was one solid piece of wire instead of having 2 separate, because there's a break here and a break here on this one. So on my 4th one, that's what I'm going to try to do. I don't know. I can't think of anything else to say, so I'm going to go ahead and get those measurements for you. I've got to run in the house to get my tape measure. But I will be right back. All right, I'm going to start with the outside bonnet piece. So it is 11 3/4 inches long, and I kind of have it tapered. So this measurement down here, it is about 19.5 inches. The widest part of the bonnet is 20 3/4 inches, and then up here is about 18 inches. About 12 inches-ish right there. If I measure along this way, roughly, this probably isn't going to be completely accurate, but it'll at least give you a basic idea. So it's around 39 inches around this way. Okay, so this is the outside bonnet piece. And then the buckram piece I made smaller, and it fits inside here like this, giving me a pretty large seam allowance around here because I end up sewing the wire into that. So that's why I need so much space for my seam allowance. The back of the hat here, this measurement in the middle, it is around 9 3/4. Yeah, around 9 3/4 inches tall. From corner to corner here, that is about 14 3/4. And if I measure along this edge, that's about 17 inches this way. And about 21 inches across the top of the bonnet. Hair, sorry, that's so gross. Okay, this is the last piece that you'll need. It's the underbonnet. Not underbonnet, it's the inside part of the bonnet. I guess underbonnet, I don't know what to call it. It's the inside part. And it is 17 1/4-ish, that way. About 9 3/4 long. Let's see, where's the widest spot? Probably be about here, where it is a little over 18, just slightly over 18 inches. And then measuring around this way, we have roughly 27, a little more than 27.5 inches, maybe 27 3/4. I don't know if these measurements are right. This is just my guess. Yeah, this is just my guess. And the measurements that I gave you are for the measurements that I'm going to use for the 4th bonnet I attempt, which is slightly different than this one. It's going to have a little bit more of a gentle curve here, and this inside bonnet is going to be a little bit curved because this piece was coming out too far on my face, and I want it to hit right around just a little bit past my ear here. So I went ahead and curved it so it'll come into like probably about there. Hopefully, if everything goes right. If that was even in frame, I don't even know. I don't care at this point because YouTube is supposed to be fun and not frustrating, right? Right. So this is Theresa signing off. Wish me luck. Hopefully I do not have to make a 5th bonnet. Blessed be the fruit